Once there was a little girl called Goldilocks who wanted to pick some forest flowers for her mother. But in the dark, dark woods, she soon lost her way and grew very tired and frightened. At last, she came across a friendly little cottage. Goldilocks knocked on the cottage door, but nobody was home. Then she looked through the window, and seeing that nobody was there, she crept in to have a look round.
Hello? Hello there. Where is everybody?
Here's Goldilocks. She's been walking in the forest for a very long time, and now she's very tired. Look, she's just come across this little house.
Oh, whose house is this?
There are lots of different trees in the forest around the house. Do you know their names?
This is an oak tree. Can you see the acorns on it? Pigs like acorns very much. These are bushes. These are bushes. This is a birch. It looks like a zebra because it's all stripy. This is an oak tree. Can you see the acorns on it? Pigs like acorns very much.
She didn't know that the little house belonged to 3 bears. One was a great big father bear. One was a middle-sized mother bear. And the third one was a little tiny baby bear. The bears were not at home because they had gone out for a walk in the forest whilst their porridge cooled down. Goldilocks went into the kitchen and saw 3 bowls of porridge on the table. The first bowl was Father Bear's bowl. The medium-sized bowl belonged to Mother Bear. The third, blue bowl, belonged to Baby Bear. Goldilocks tasted the porridge from the biggest bowl first.
Ouch!
She said.
It's far too hot.
Then she tried some porridge from the medium-sized bowl.
Yuck!
She said.
It's far too cold.
Finally, she tasted the porridge from the little blue bowl.
Yum!
That one was definitely the best.
I'll need to sit down to eat this porridge,
thought Goldilocks. She saw 3 chairs. The biggest one belonged to Father Bear. The middling one was Mother Bear's. And the tiny third one with a blue cushion belonged to Baby Bear. She wanted to sit on the big chair, but fell off it.
This chair is far too hard,
she said to herself. Then she sat in Mother Bear's medium-sized chair. But it was too uncomfortable for her.
This chair is much too soft.
So finally she sat in the smallest chair and smiled happily.
Just right.
She took the blue bowl of porridge over to the chair and began to eat. When she had finished the porridge, she began to rock on the chair. Silly Goldilocks. The chair broke and she fell on the floor.
What a lovely little house this is. So cozy here, and I can smell something really tasty.
Goldilocks is very hungry. Can you see the table with the bowls of porridge? Try tapping on the table to see what happens.
I don't like this porridge. It's too hot. This porridge is too cold. I'm not going to eat that. What tasty porridge. I'm going to eat it all up.
Then Goldilocks went into the next room and found 3 beds. Goldilocks tried to climb up onto the largest bed.
That's no good,
she said.
It's too high for me.
Then she tried the middle-sized bed.
This one's no good either,
she grumbled.
It's far too low.
So then she lay down on the smallest bed. And guess what? It was just right for her. And she fell fast asleep.
Wow! Just look at this pretty bedroom.
Goldilocks wants to go to sleep. Let's find out which bed is best for her.
No, this bed isn't quite right. It's too high for me. I don't like this bed. It's too low. This bed is so comfortable. I'm going to sleep right here.
Just then, the three bears returned home from their walk. They were very hungry. Father Bear looked in his porridge bowl and said, "Who's been eating my porridge?" Mother Bear looked at her bowl too and said,
"Who's been eating my porridge?"
Then Baby Bear looked at his empty bowl and cried in his wee voice,
Who's been eating my porridge and eaten it all up?
Then Father Bear noticed something else. "Who's been sitting in my chair and moved it?" Mother Bear looked at her chair and said,
"Who's moved my chair too?"
Baby Bear looked at his broken chair and squeaked,
Who's been sitting on my chair and actually broken it?
"Something is wrong here."
I don't believe it. Somebody's been in our house.
Mummy, look. Somebody's broken my little chair.
My porridge. Somebody has had a nibble of it.
Daddy, look. Somebody has eaten my porridge all up.
The bears decided to look in their bedroom. "Who's been trying to climb into my bed?" roared Father Bear.
Who's been sleeping in my bed?
Cried Mother Bear. Baby Bear said in his small wee voice,
Who's been sleeping in my bed?
Then he saw Goldilocks under the covers and added,
And he's still there.
Somebody has tried to climb onto my bed.
Surely nobody would be so rude.
Dad, I found the intruder. It's a little girl.
My bedclothes are all crumpled.
My bed was so neat when we went out, and now it's such a mess.
That's who's eaten my porridge all up and broken my little chair.
Goldilocks woke up and leapt out of Baby Bear's bed. She ran straight to the window, jumped out, and ran off into the woods. And the bears never saw Goldilocks again.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a pretty girl named Cinderella. Cinderella lived with her wicked stepmother and two stepsisters who treated her like a slave in her own home. They made her do all the chores, like cleaning the windows and shining the floors. Her stepsisters were spoiled. They wore beautiful clothes while Cinderella had to wear rags. Cinderella's life was incredibly boring. She hated waking up to her mean stepmother making her do all the housework. Her only friends were the birds and mice who kept her company while she cleaned the house. Despite her life's less than perfect circumstances, Cinderella remained positive and dreamed of a better life. One day, the king sent out an invitation to all the young girls in town to come to Prince Ferdinand's ball in hopes of finding a wife for his son. Excited, Cinderella's stepsisters got primped for the big ball. But with so much housework to do, Cinderella wasn't able to put together a cute look for the ball, so her animal friends decided to help her out. The animals surprised Cinderella with a beautiful dress. Cinderella couldn't believe it. She slipped on the dress and ran downstairs just as her stepmother and stepsisters were about to leave for the ball. But her stepsisters weren't impressed. Rather, they were horrified that Cinderella was able to find something to wear. In a jealous rage, her stepsisters destroyed the dress. Sitting on the floor, her dress ripped to shreds, Cinderella started to cry. Life simply wasn't fair, and Cinderella's spirit was broken. But then a fairy godmother appeared. "Don't cry, Cinderella. I will send you to the ball." With the wave of her magic wand, the fairy godmother turned Cinderella's mice friends into horses and a nearby pumpkin into a beautiful carriage. Another wave of the wand, and the fairy godmother transformed Cinderella's ripped dress into a beautiful gown, complete with glass slippers. Cinderella dashed off to the ball in her new beautiful dress and regal horse-drawn carriage. Meanwhile, all of the young girls at the ball were vying for Prince Charming's attention. He wasn't interested. That is, until Cinderella arrived. When she entered, no one recognized the beautiful young girl. The prince was immediately taken by her beauty and asked her to dance. Just as the prince asked Cinderella's name, she noticed the clock. It was almost midnight, and her fairy godmother's magic was about to expire. Without explanation, she ran out without telling the prince her name. In her rush, Cinderella left her glass shoe on the palace steps. The next day, the prince announced that he was searching for the beautiful girl who left her shoe on the palace stairs. He promised to marry the girl whose foot fit the glass slipper. One by one, all of the women in the kingdom tried it on, but none of them was a perfect fit. Cinderella's stepsisters tried on the shoe to no avail. Just before leaving the house, the prince heard Cinderella's voice coming from the kitchen and demanded that she try it on. Despite her stepmother's evil stare, Cinderella took her turn. The slipper fit perfectly. The prince immediately recognized Cinderella as the mysterious girl he had met at the ball the previous evening. It was true love. Then and there, the prince proposed, and Cinderella said yes. They lived happily ever after. The end.
Rapunzel. Once upon a time in a kingdom far away, there lived a beautiful princess named Rapunzel. She had long golden hair that possessed magical healing powers. Unfortunately, Rapunzel was taken away from her royal parents as a baby by an evil witch named Mother Gothel. The witch desired the magic of Rapunzel's hair for herself. Mother Gothel hid Rapunzel in a tall tower hidden deep in the forest, far away from the outside world. She told Rapunzel that the world was a dangerous place and kept her locked away for years. Rapunzel dreamed of exploring the world beyond her tower and seeing the mysterious floating lanterns that appeared in the sky every year on her birthday. One day, a charming thief named Flynn Rider stumbled upon Rapunzel's tower while trying to escape from the royal guards. Rapunzel, curious and brave, struck a deal with Flynn. She agreed to return the stolen crown he had hidden in the tower in exchange for her freedom to see the lanterns. Reluctantly, Flynn agreed to take Rapunzel on an adventure to the kingdom where the lanterns were released. Along the way, they encountered various obstacles, including Mother Gothel, who desperately tried to keep Rapunzel hidden from the world. During their journey, Rapunzel discovered her true identity as a lost princess. She also learned that her hair possessed incredible healing powers. As Rapunzel and Flynn grew closer, their bond strengthened, and they found themselves falling in love. Meanwhile, back in the kingdom, Rapunzel's parents, the king and queen, never gave up hope of finding their daughter. Every year on her birthday, they released thousands of lanterns into the sky, hoping that one day their lost princess would return. Finally, the day of the Lantern Festival arrived. Rapunzel and Flynn reached the kingdom. But Mother Gothel caught up with them, trying to take Rapunzel's hair for herself. In a climactic battle, Rapunzel and Flynn managed to defeat Mother Gothel and free themselves from her clutches. Rapunzel was joyfully reunited with her parents, who were overjoyed to have their daughter back. The kingdom celebrated her return, and the night sky was filled with the magical lanterns, symbolizing hope, love, and the triumph of good over evil. Rapunzel embraced her role as a princess. The end.